Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be seeing detailed explanation of ASP.NET Core dependency injection. In this video, you can find differences between add singleton, add scope, add transient. If you look at these three types, add transient, add singleton, add scope, you might be getting a question like, what is the difference? I also got the same question, so I'm doing this video for that. Let's start it. So let's see what is add singleton. This is my web server and this is my web client. So I will do request from my web client to web server using a Chrome or Firefox browser installed in web client. So web server has a code in it, and that code has a dependency injection engine. Then it has registered for logs service, and these are the web components I have. These web components will be requesting for the log service instance from dependency injection engine. Okay, let's start a request. So web client will be requesting the server. Then request is submitted to the controller 1. Then controller 1 has a dependency on logs service. This controller 1 will be requesting dependency injection engine, DI engine, for logs service object. So this will think and it will process that, and it creates an object and returns the same instance to the controller 1. Then controller 1 uses that object 1. Then it redirects to the controller 2. Controller 2 also has a dependency on logs service. So it also does a request to the DI engine for the logs service instance. This time also this will process the request, and it won't create any new object because it is a singleton. In singleton, if there is an object already created, it won't create new object. So it shares the same object to the controller 2 also. Then controller 2 uses the object for logging. Then it calls the next service called service 1. Service 1 also has a dependency on logs service. So this one also does the request to the DI engine for logs service. This time also it processed that request, and as it is a singleton, it won't create new object. It will share the same object it has already created. Then service 1 will use that object for logging. Then service 1 also calls the other layer, that is a business logic layer 1. This one also has a dependency on logs service. So it requests the DI engine for logs service. This time also this will process the request, and it won't create new object as it is a singleton. It will share the same object with a BL layer. Then this one next calls to the another service. This service also has a dependency on logs service. Then request to the DI engine. DI engine will process the request. Then it won't create a new object as it is a singleton. It will share the same object to that layer also. In this one, we can see that if you use add singleton, DI engine will create one object. It will use that one object across the application. So this is for one request we have seen. Let's look at the second request from the web client. So if you do another request from the web client, what happens? If you do any number of requests from your web client in case of add singleton, the same repeats. The DI engine will create instance only once, and it shares that single instance to any component inside your application. For next request also, for third request also, DI engine will process. If there is object already, it will share the same object. It won't create a new object. So that is what happens with a add singleton. Any number of requests, any number of dependency injections, any number of usages. DI engine will create only one object. Then it will share that one object across the application. That is add singleton. Let's look at the numbers. You have one web request, one DI request. Number of instances will be 1. If you have one web request, two DI requests, then the number of instances are also 1. If you have two web requests, then two DI requests, then the number of instances, final instances would be 1. If you have n number of web requests, then n number of DI requests, then also you will be having one object created. That is a singleton. In singleton, only one object will be created and used across the application. The next one, add scope. Let's see what happens in add scope case. Web client will do a request that will goes to the controller 1, controller request to the DI engine. It will process, it creates object 1, and the same process continues. Here same is happening like a singleton, but what is the difference? So here in this add scope case, for every request it will be similar like add singleton, but it is only per request scope. The same object will be used only per request. If you start doing a next request, so DI engine will create a new object. So DI engine will create a new object for every new request. So then it starts sharing that one. If you have a third request, DI engine will create a third object and shares that third object for all the dependency injections. Like this in add scope, DI engine will create new object for every request. So one object is server to one request scope. That's why it's a add scope. Okay, let's see the numbers. For one web request, one DI request, one instance will be created. For one web request and two DI requests, one instance will be created. And for two web requests, two DI requests, there are two instances created, because here instance will be created per web request. If there are n web requests, n DI requests, then there are n objects created. Let's see add transient. So similarly like add singleton, add transient. So here also we do web request from web client. So the web request will be handled by controller 1. Controller 1 has a dependency on log service, so it requested DI engine. DI engine starts processing, then it creates object, then returns the object. Then controller 1 has a redirection or internal call to the controller 2. Then controller 2 also has a dependency on logs service, so it requests a DI engine for the object. This time DI engine processes the request and it creates a new object and returns it. And controller 2 calls the next service, service 1. This service 1 also has a dependency on logs service. This time service 1 also requests DI engine for the object. This time DI engine will process and creates a new object and returns it. Then service 1 uses that obj3, then it starts calling the next layer, BL layer 1. This one also has a dependency on logs service. Then it will request the DI engine for the object. This time DI engine processes that request and it creates a new object and returns it. So BL layer 1 will use that object and it calls the next service 2. This service 2 also has a dependency on log service. So this requests a DI engine for the object. This time DI engine will create a new object and returns back. So if you look at this one, for every DI request, DI engine is creating brand new object and returning back. So by looking at this, you can consider that for every dependency injection request, so it will create a new object. This is for request 1. Let's see what happens for request 2, request 3, like that. So I'm doing request 2 from the web client. Request 2 goes to the controller 1, then that requests DI engine for the object. This time DI engine will create all brand new objects. DI engine will process and it will create all the new objects, new set of objects, object 6, 7, 8, 9. Because all the requests are brand new, so it will create new object for every DI request. So for second request also we got new objects. Let's see for third request. Third request gone, DI engine process, then it creates a new objects. OBJ 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This time also DI engine created all new objects and returned. Like this, if you use add transient, it will create a new object for every DI request. Let's look at the numbers. If we have one web request, one DI request, then one object will be created. If we have one web request, two DI requests, then two objects will be created. If you have a two web requests, two DI requests, then it will be creating four objects. If you have a n web request and DI request, it will be creating n into n power of 2 instances. Okay, so let's look at the numbers for all three. So DI for singleton, scoped, transient. If we have one web request, one DI request, so one instance, same for all. If we have one web request, two DI requests, then in singleton, one object will be created. In scoped, one object will be created. In transient, two objects will be created. So if we have a two web requests, two DI requests, then one for singleton, two for scoped, four for transient. If we have a n web requests, then n DI requests, then one object created for singleton, n objects created for scope, n into n objects will be created for transient. If you have 100 web requests and 100 DI requests, in singleton there is only one object created. In scope, 100 objects created. In transient, 100 into 100, 100 multiplies 100 objects will be created. That means almost 10,000 objects. So transient is a bit dangerous. So we need to use it wisely. So that's it. Thank you for watching.